Hey. Oh, super funny because today I was actually gonna tell the story of how I got Luna, my dog here. Look at that face. Mwah. Such a good girl. Adopt, don't shop. Okay, so we'll start off with the end of my freshman year of college. It was about a week before finals. I walked out of my dorm into the quad, and there was a whole big group of dogs in the middle of the quad. Naturally, being the dog lover I am, I was like, dogs, and ran over with one of my good friends, and we're just petting the dogs. It turns out it was an event that some organization at my school put on where students brought their dogs and volunteers brought dogs from the CMPD Animal Rescue, which is essentially the pound here in Charlotte. It was supposed to be a stress relief event for students right before finals, as well as a possible adoption time for a lot of these dogs without homes. So I saw Luna and her big, wide, you know, pit bull smiling face, and was just drawn to her immediately. She was just looked so happy. I spent about an hour, I think, just hanging out with Luna. There was something very divine about deciding to get Luna, is that I felt on my heart that this was my dog and that everything was gonna work out. Like, it's like I was in my own head, but it wasn't me. And it's not like I heard a voice or anything. Like, that's weird to say, but yeah. So I just knew I had to get her. So at that point, I didn't know where my debit card was. I had like $98 left in both my checking and saving account, so like total $98. But I went back to my room, I dug through everything, and I found my debit card, and I went back and I walked up to the lady who was responsible for Luna, and I said, I'd like to get this dog. And she was like, okay, well, like, blah, blah, blah. She didn't really like think I was serious. I was like, no, like now I'd like to get this dog. And so she was caught really off guard, and she's like, okay, well, then I might as well take her back to the pound now, and I can meet you there, and we can do the paperwork before they close, and she'll be yours. So we got in the car, we drove there, met Luna there, and she was still as loving as can be and so happy. And I filled out some paperwork. Luna cost me $93. They gave me a collar and a leash for her, just like a temporary little puppy one. Luna was around 12 weeks when I got her. A little muffin. She's eyeing me. Luna. Hi, baby. You want to say hi? Look at that tail go. You want to say hi? Say cheese. That's not cheese. Cheese. Now I got her all anxious and whiny. Oh, it's too rich. It's too rich. Okay. Got Luna with just about all the money I had left. I was flying home in 1 week because I go to school in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm from Nashville, New Hampshire. So I was flying home in like 1 week, and I was like, how am I gonna bring this dog home with me? I did not tell my parents that I got a dog. I have never had dogs growing up. Like your typical kid, I always asked my parents for a dog. But my parents just preferred cats. My sister and I were always super busy, active with sports and other things, and my parents worked, so we just didn't have the time to take care of and love a dog as you should. You know, cats are a lot easier. They come and go as they please. So yeah, and I had always told my mom, like for the last year, I had told her, when I'm not living on campus and I get my own place, I will get a dog. I don't think she believed me. And this was a year before I even got my own place. So it was a lot earlier than planned for me too. But like I said, when I was with Luna, I felt like she was my dog. I knew she was my dog. And it's so weird to say, and it's so weird because I hear people in relationships say that. They're like, I just knew she was the one. That's how I felt about Luna. Like, I felt that my life needed her. Like, it's an indescribable feeling. I had my sister pay for a carrier for Luna because Luna was just barely small enough where the airline, if it was like $100 fee, but if your dog was small enough to fit in a carrier underneath the seat in front of you, then it was allowed to stay above the hold with you. So Luna was just the right size. Like, her carrier was a little squishy because she was borderline getting too big. And she flew home with me, and I made my sister pick me up from the airport. We left Luna in the car when we pulled up to my house. We went in, said hello to my parents, and then, then my parents told me they had a surprise for me. And I had a hunch it was a car. And I kind of saw it when we were pulling up to the driveway, but, so they take me around to the back of the house, and sure enough, is a car. They didn't buy me a car. They leased me a car. I'm supposed to pay every month for it, but I've been struggling financially recently, so I've probably paid about 50% of the months, 50 to 70% of the months I've been supposed to for my car. But the reason that was a surprise, and they did that because my dad really did not want me to have a car. So even though I was paying for it, it was this really great surprise and gesture and awesome thing they did for me. And then they did that, and I was like, ha ha, oh, and I knew this was gonna make the news that I had a dog even harder. So I was like, I have a surprise for you too. We went back into the house. I got Luna. I came in. Luna was very quiet. She was down. My parents so I have a kitchen like counter. It's a peninsula. And my parents were on one side of it and I was on the other, so they couldn't see Luna because she was at my feet. And I handed them a sign. I made them close their eyes, and I handed them a sign, and I said, okay, open your eyes. And it said, dog on premises, beware. And they were like really confused, and they were like, what? And then I squatted down and I showed them Luna. My sister got this all on video. I don't know. I don't have it anymore. I don't know if she has it anymore. But my mom just kept repeating, whose dog is that? And I just kept saying, mine. I got her. And my dad just was silent. He was like, no, you didn't. And he kept repeating that. When my dad gets really angry, he gets really silent. So he, after saying enough, no, you didn't, walked away and just to cope. And yeah, it was the scariest thing I've done in my entire life. That was a scarier moment for me than bungee jumping. Like 1,000 times scarier than bungee jumping. And my parents, talked about making me bring her to the Humane Society, and all this, and it was like the worst month ever. And one time I was, sitting at the kitchen counter, my mom got home, walked in, and she was talking to me, and she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm just upset that you guys are so upset with me, because I'm close to my parents and I hate disappointing them and making them upset or anything like that, or doing anything that they're not happy with. And she was like, well, what did you expect to happen? And I told her, I was like, I knew this would happen, but I just want to get to the part where you love her. And sure enough, that part came, and my parents love her now. My dad likes to always say she's still a dog, but it's really good. And I'm really thankful that it's gotten to a good place. But I do not encourage you bringing home a dog without telling your parents. It worked out okay for me. I don't know how it'll work for other people, but yeah, Luna has been the biggest blessing in my life, and I think my parents can see that. They can see how responsible she's made me, how much happier she's made me, because she is an ESA. She does help me a lot with my anxiety and depression, and they see that, and ultimately they want me to be as healthy as possible. So, and Luna helps me do that, and my mom especially, I'm not really sure where my dad stands on it, but my mom does not like medication, and I can understand her apprehension towards it, especially with all the stigma of us being an over-medicated society. So I think they think it's really great that I found this alternative solution to help me cope and manage my symptoms. But yeah, so I will possibly make a whole nother video about Luna being an ESA, what that means. But that's it. That's how I got Luna. It is pretty crazy. Thanks for watching. This was my Vlogmas video day 6, video 3, because I started late. But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. And comment, message me, let me know other things you may like to see.